If you are struggling with lower back pain but want to lose weight and you're not sure how to do it, and you're probably working a job and super long hours, so you just feel like it's probably impossible to get your workouts in, then I'm going to show you how you can do that and balance it. And I'll also give you an action plan right at the end of the video after I've shown you through everything you need to know about burning fat and reducing that lower back pain. So let's jump straight into it, guys. So obviously, if you are struggling with lower back pain but want to lose weight, watch this. So my real client results. So client results here, Pascal lost 40 pounds in 3 months. Back pain dropped completely. And on top of that as well, we had a great message from his doctor who literally said he can come off all of his meds after just 3 months inside the program, which is ridiculous, right? He's only got a slight bit of fat around his midsection, but apart from that, he's in probably the best shape, and he looks about 20 years younger in the face, which is crazy. I'm actually going to post it on my Instagram, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see everything there as well. And then we have Ronnie here, who's lost 10 pounds in 30 days, right? Added core and upper body strength and no longer feels like gym is a chore, right? When he first came to me, he felt like gym was like one of them, right? Didn't really like going, was on and off all the time sort of thing. And also today I actually hit a gym session with Ronnie. And when we first started doing dips, which was literally a month ago, right, he could barely do, let's say 10 body weight runs. Now he's doing 20 kg dips for 6 reps, which is brilliant, right? So that's Ronnie there on the right in the middle. And then Richard lost 15 pounds with posture correction drills and clean eating, and he's eliminated morning stiffness and can now exercise pain-free. Absolutely loving it. And he's actually joining again, right? I didn't ask him, but he wants to join TTT Fitness again and keep it going. So that's him in the bottom corner there. As you can see there, that was him before, bad posture, a little bit of belly fat around the midsection, and now that's him now, right? Absolutely killing it, right? And look, you don't just lose fat, you also gain mobility, energy, and a better quality of life when you lose that weight, which is always brilliant, right? Everyone wants to live a better and happier life, so that's that. And why back pain and weight loss are connected. So carrying extra body weight increases pressure on your spinal discs and joints, right? And I put in a hidden fact here as well. Every extra pound around your midsection shifts your center of gravity forward, forcing your lower back muscles to work over time to keep you upright, right? And if you have pelvic tilt, similar to what I have, so pelvic tilt is when your spine just naturally curves outwards, right? Then you will have an extra layer, even more pressure on that lower back, right? So by getting rid of that fat in the first place, you're gonna reduce a lot of stress on your lower back. And my clients all feel lighter and more mobile after losing just 10 to 15 pounds because their spinal compression decreases. And that's all it takes, right? Even 5 pounds can just reduce that pain, right? A whole lot. So that's that. And how fat loss helps relieve pain, right? So less fat equals less mechanical stress and fewer inflammatory signals attacking the spinal tissues, right? If you've got more weight pushing down on your spinal cord and your spine is not moving in the right direction, then the nerves around your lower back are gonna hurt a lot more, right? And studies also show that weight loss reduces stiffness and increases spinal disc space, right? Leading to better mobility once you've lost that weight, right? And everyone wants to be able to move about, have good posture, look good, go down to the beach, go for a swim, right? Look after their kids, throw their kids in the air and catch them without any pain, you know what I mean, right? So that's always a good thing. And inflammation from excess fat can heighten pain sensitivity, which is what I kind of said earlier, meaning the same movement feels more painful when you're overweight. So like the same movement for yourself, for example, whilst you're overweight, you've got a bit of belly fat around your midsection, right? Might feel a lot more painful than it does for me because I've got rid of that weight and I haven't got that belly fat and I've increased the strength. Oh, sorry, we've gone backwards. And back firming basics, right? Just to make you understand. So fat loss isn't just calories in versus out, right? Hormones matter also. Chronic stress raises cortisol, right? Which makes fat storage around the belly more likely, right? So as you increase your stress, so anything like that, work, I understand, can get super stressful sometimes. And because of that, your cortisol levels increase, right? Which makes fat storage around your belly more likely, which is why I talk about meditation, I talk about yoga, I talk about getting into good habits, I talk about why exercise isn't just for the body, but it's also for the mind, right? It makes you feel good, it releases good endorphins into your mind and your body so that you're less likely to build that fat around your midsection. And non-exercise activity like walking, fidgeting, house chores can actually burn 200 to 500 calories a day without formal exercise, which is something huge, right? And look, you can burn calories just walking to the fridge. However, right, I don't recommend you do this. I still recommend, don't rely on that, that's basically what I'm saying. I still recommend you go to the gym, you look after yourself, and you do some sort of exercise, even if that's something at home, push-ups, sit-ups, anything, right? Get something in, right? An adequate protein intake helps preserve muscle, right, which burns more calories at rest, right? So the way I want you to think about it, I'm going to dive into a little bit more detail on this later on in the video, but as you increase your muscle mass, your metabolism also increases. And if your metabolism increases, you actually burn more calories at rest, right? So it said here 200 to 500. So if you've got more muscle mass, you'll probably be around the 500 range, right? When you're doing household chores and walking, right? And between 1.4 to 2 grams of protein per kg of body weight per day to build muscle in the gym, right? That's what I recommend if you're trying to build muscle. And also, if you're on a weight loss journey, right, increasing that protein intake and lowering your calories, right, will help you build muscle, will help you recover quicker, will help you feel fuller for longer, right, which is 3 of the biggest things you need in order to burn fat quickly and look good and feel good and not have that feeling the next day of pain, right? That is called DOMS, the way I like to call it, delayed onset muscle soreness, right? Which is that pain you feel the next day, which is totally normal, especially if you haven't been to the gym for a while and you go, but the more you do it, right, it decreases the pain over time, right? So important. Make sure you get your protein in, right, and hit that goal of your protein goals. Simple as that. And exercises that work for both goals. So for pain relief, core stability strengthens muscles that brace the spine. So important, like planks, side planks. These holding static movements are going to help build that core stability, right? And if you pair that with sit-ups, bicycles, all these little things, right, it's also going to help you build strength in other areas, right? But stability exercises like planks and side planks are brilliant, right? And you can obviously use medicine balls to make it a bit harder, right? And then glute activation reduces stress on lower back. So you can get bands for this. You can use the machines, the glute machines at the gym, right? I used to love using the bands and that really helped for my lower back pain that I had, right? And absolutely brilliant. And it looks a bit weird, but if you just put it down around your knees, around your ankles as well, if you want a bit extra strength, you want to build a bit more muscle or the bands are a bit too light, then get 2, put them around your knee and your ankle, right? And it's like you're moving like a crab, right? Your legs are moving like a crab. So that's a great one there. And then mobility drills as well to prevent stiffness in the hips and the hamstrings, right? And common back pain triggers, right? So mobility drills are honestly amazing, right? Mobility, 90-90s, all of these type of movements, yoga, right? I absolutely love yoga, right? I can't stress how much yoga has changed my life and my physique, and not just body, but also my mindset as well. It's taught me to kind of sit down and breathe, right? Especially yin yoga. And we'll probably jump into that a little bit later, but yin yoga is amazing, guys. And there's a guy I watch online I've been following since lockdown, right? Called Travis Elliott. Absolutely amazing, brilliant for loads of free yoga videos on there. So try him out. And for fat loss as well, strength training builds lean muscle, which raises metabolism, as I explained earlier, right? Interval training burns calories during and after the workout, which has an after burning effect, right? So, for example, when you do HIIT, right, because you're pushing your body to the limit, you're hitting your max heart rate during your workouts, that's going to have that after burning effect, right? And one way that I was just speaking to one of my clients earlier, and I was just telling him how when he does his workouts, he wants to kind of aim between the 130 to 160 range for his heart rate, right? And the way you guys, to find your max heart rate, do 220 minus your age, and then that's your max heart rate. And then from there, right, you find out, all right, my max heart rate is probably 180, right? Now, right, that's my sprinting. So maybe I need to aim for around 120 to get a good, long, slow cardio workout in, right? And yeah, aerobic sort of exercise there, right? And then obviously that's the after burning effect. And then hidden fact here as well, right? Just 10,000 steps per day can burn 400 to 500 calories, which is the equivalent of a small meal, right? Whilst reducing back pain through gentle movement, right? That's why I recommend everyone just aim to get 10,000 steps a day, right? Obviously, if you go and do cardio, you go and do a run or cycle, that's fine, right? But just get something in each day. simple as walking, as simple as just walking, right? And then posture, ergonomics, and lifestyle, right? Desk setup, right? Screen, make sure the screen is eye level, your feet are flat on the floor, and lumbar support to protect your lower back and support it, right? And sitting too long also weakens your glutes and causes your lower back to pick up the slack, right? So that's why I recommend I've written it down here as well, every hour, move around for 1 to 2 minutes, stretch, stand, and walk to reset posture, right? If you sit down for a long period of time, you actually probably realize that your shoulders start moving forward, right? Which causes the muscles in your chest to tighten up, which is why you see a lot of people with really bad posture because of that specifically, right? So make sure you're stretching throughout the day, right? And sleep on your side with a pillow between your knees, right? This helps keep your spine aligned and reduces nighttime pressure, which is honestly, like when I had my lower back pain, this was a game changer. I had a pillow between my legs. I got the hard pillow for my head, right? So I was on my side sort of thing, and it just helped keep my spine aligned and reduce any pressure on my lower back when I had that pain. Because sleeping, honestly, if you can't get a good night's sleep, it's the worst thing, absolutely the worst thing, especially if it's back pain as well, causing that. And then pain management tools that work. Right, so stretch and focus area. So hamstrings, if you have tight hamstrings, this pulls on the pelvis that worsens your lower back pressure, right? So make sure, like just in general, do yin yoga, stretch 3 to 4 times a week, right? Do a proper stretching session as well as gym, right? It'll help with recovery and it will help with just pain management, right? And then hip flexors as well. By loosening them, you relieve anterior pelvic tilt. As I said earlier, right, I have slight pelvic tilt, so for me, it's so important that I get my hip flexor stretches in, right? Otherwise, it's going to add an extra layer of pain on my lower back, which then causes me to move in painful situations and like move in ways I don't want to move, right? And then cause pain on my lower back, right? And then yoga and Pilates improves balance and flexibility whilst building stabilizer muscles, right? As I said before, yoga is amazing. And there's different types of yoga. Yin yoga, which is more holding the stretch for a long period of time, which I recommend you do before bed. I do about 30 minutes before bed almost every night. And then on top of that as well, you got flow, right? So flow yoga, so simple as just flowing through the movements. Really good, really, really good. And then you got power yoga, which is more of like a workout sort of, it's still flowing, but it's a bit more like push-ups and then planks and then little things like that. But you're breathing throughout the whole thing, which is also very, very good, just to get your mind and your body ready, right? And then heat therapy improves blood flow, better healing, like saunas, steam rooms, amazing. Cold therapy also reduces inflammation after activity. So cold therapy, like ice baths, right? I love an ice bath. And the best time to do cold therapy, in my opinion, is, you can wake up in the morning and do a cold shower every morning. Awesome, right? But that's more for the mind, right? You're going to see the most benefit from cold therapy straight after a hardcore workout, right? So say you've just done 10K, for example, right? You get back, you jump in an ice bath, right? For, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes. Boom. That's where you get the most benefit out of that, right? And stress causes muscles to subconsciously tighten, raising back pain levels. Mind-body practice like deep breathing, meditation can calm this response, right? So as I said before, like the great thing about yin yoga, you're also meditating throughout the whole thing, and also practice meditation, right? Just little things. It might sound really weird, but waking up every morning and telling yourself you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Have by the side of your bed, and I say this with every single one of my clients, is have something by the side of your bed just saying, what's your why? And then right under it, what's my why? Why did I start this journey? What happens if I don't do this? What happens if I don't take action today? What happens if I do take action, and what happens in the future? Like, write it down in detail. Have it by the side of your bed every day to remind you of why you started that journey, right? And these things will definitely help along the way, as it helps me, right? And your action plan. So here's a small action plan you guys can use, right, to get you going. So aim for 1 to 2 pounds lost per week. So it's a sustainable long-term goal, right? So the way I like to set my goals is I call them SMART targets. So S, specific. So we're specifically aiming for 1 to 2 pounds lost per week, right? Measurable, right? So measurable, all right, cool. We can measure that because we're losing 1 to 2 pounds. A, is it achievable? Yeah, 1 to 2 pounds a week of fat is definitely achievable. R, is it realistic? Yeah, it is realistic, right? And then T, is it time bound? Yeah, per week, right? So we've got 7 days in order to hit that goal. Boom. That's how I like setting my goals. And then daily movement as well. Walk, stretch, and train consistently. Even small steps matter, right? And I said it earlier, just get stuff in each day. Even if you haven't got anything, even if it's a weekend, it's your 2 days off, go and do something. I can't stress how important it is, right? Go and do something. And then nutrition, prioritize protein, anti-inflammatory foods. Sorry, my words are not leaving my mouth today. And hydration, right? So, for example, anti-inflammatory foods like nuts, seeds, your fruits as well. Good foods that just help prevent any inflammatory, right? I can't even say that word. Anyway, we'll move on. And then posture, right? Fixed workstation, right? So make sure your workstation is all aligned, right? Sit less as well. Maybe even stand up, right? I know a lot of people have the desk. I need to get one myself, right? You can get the desk to move up, move down, however you want to do it. You can even get a little treadmill you can walk on whilst doing your work, which is super, super cool, right? And add mobility breaks as well, right? Add mobility breaks. And recovery as well, sleep 7 to 9 hours, manage stress, and use heat and cold therapy, stuff like that, if it's needed, right? So yeah, add all of that. And by sleeping and getting enough sleep as well, it's gonna help reduce your stress levels also, right? Which help manage stress. And if you can manage your stress and by using saunas, steam rooms, cold plunges, it's actually going to help reduce stress also, help recovery and all of those things. So it's just a win-win, right? And if you've ever been to a spa before, you always come out feeling cleansed, right? I always do, right? Because it's amazing, right? It's honestly amazing what it does to you. And if you do that every single day, within a few months, you are going to completely change. And then consistency is key also, right? Small changes compound, leading to major fat loss and lasting pain relief, right? So stay consistent with your journey, guys, and you will get to where you want to get to eventually, right? And one of my favorite sayings is trust the timing, right? It's my brand, is everything, right? And what it really means is if you can put in the work and put in the right work every single day for however long, you will get to where you want to get to eventually, right? And this is me coming from like a motivational point of view, right? But it's so true, right? Especially when I had my back pain, especially when I was trying to get in shape, right? I knew that if I put in the work every single day, I asked for help, I got the support that I needed, I will get to where I want to get to eventually. But at the end of the day, it was up to me, right? And I had people around me to push me also, which honestly helped so much. But yeah, consistency is so key, guys. And if you guys need any help, just watch a few of the videos down below. And yeah, booking a call with myself, my team, if you guys need any help, or message me on Instagram and I'll see how I can help you guys out. So yeah, hope you have a good day and I'll see you guys soon.